Alright, so very quickly, I was on the internet and I found something very interesting out. So apparently Game Freak confirmed that when Pokebank comes out in Sun and Moon, that every single Pokemon that's transferred from like Gen 6, and I mean they don't have to just be from Gen 6, but like maybe they're just in the game, to Gen 7, they'll immediately be 3 random IVs that out of 6. So the effort values, which is 31 would be max, will immediately be guaranteed at least 3 max IVs. And if they already have max IVs in certain categories, I believe it'll take the rest of them and then we'll just transfer them over to max IVs. So like for example, if there's like already a Pokemon that has 3 max IVs and they're missing 3 other max IVs and you transfer that over, the other 3 IVs will, because they figure, you know, because people are getting the golden bottle caps and then they hyper train them. I didn't even know this until recently because I've been trying to get like all the items offline, and I guess I'm just trying to buy all the palette swaps from like the stores, but there's so many of them, and it's really hard to get money in the game. There's like near the end of the game, there's like this one part where you can ride Tauros, and Tauros charge into these boulders down. It's where you fight Mina, and it's right by Battle Tree. And essentially, like what happens is there's a good chance that they'll drop Stardust, star pieces, and especially if you can find Comet shards, they're worth a lot of money, worth a ton of money. Not to mention if you have Pokemon that have the ability to pick up, you know, just kind of keep going back and forth with that, and you know, every, I don't know, like if it's like every time you leave a screen, there's like a 10% chance that they'll require, like I mean, I think that's how it was in Pokemon, Pokemon Emerald, Gen 3 and all that and above. But all the Pokemon, like, you know, the higher level they are, the better chance of ever picking up like one of the more rare items, which is actually pretty cool. But again, this video is just to kind of demonstrate to you that, you know, over the years, you know, and even to this day, Pokemon's like, it's not like it's getting easier, like in the sense that, I mean, the games can still be difficult, but, you know, as far as like trading and like getting a better chance to like EV train your Pokemon and IV training, you know, like farming for those, it's getting easier because, you know, there's so many Pokemon to, you know, really take and then start with, and, you know, Pokebank at least guarantees that, like, so technically speaking, if you think about it, like if you caught like a certain legendary in like Gen 6, those Pokemon had at least 4 of 6 IVs. So like Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver, like all the legendaries in there, they were guaranteed at least so many IVs. And then like if you transfer them over, there's a good chance they'll hit max IVs. And I just think that's really interesting because, you know, heck, even if you hatch like certain eggs in Pokemon, I think they were guaranteed 3 IVs at least. So, something like that. Again, I'm still looking into the whole thing because I'm not someone who plays competitively with people, but this is just what I've seen so far. And what I've noticed is like, okay, so if you already have max IVs for certain Pokemon, then they're just going to get the rest of the max IVs, and then boom, they're done just like that. That way you don't have to keep farming for bottle caps and because I mean it can sort of get difficult because like some of those bottle caps, they're not necessarily 100% easy to find, and you know, I don't know what the encounter rate for them is, but you know, if you could find somebody who's willing to, not to mention people don't really trade them because what they're allowing them to do, max out their IVs, and a lot of people would be like, wow, you definitely got to hold on to that. I mean, that's definitely a heck of an item to use, and nobody wants to get rid of those unless, of course, they're using them for the Pokemon they're going to be playing with competitively. So it's understandable why nobody would want to trade those unless they're hacking them for people, which I've seen people do, but not knowing that I know of anyways that I've met that would be willing to trade like items like that. So the original bottle caps and the golden bottle caps, if you have any of them, do not trade them. Hold on to them, don't sell them, and use them for hyper training. So that way your Pokemon can get better IVs, and you know, it just jumps all the way up. Because one gold bottle cap maxes out all the IVs, all 6 of them. They're so hard to get, but like they're so worth it in the end because your Pokemon are. Not to mention, to check your IVs, you have to hatch at least 20 eggs and go to Battle Tree, and there's a trainer on the right next to the PC, next to the receptionist. There's a guy that's standing there, and he says something about like if you're not worthy enough or something like that, but if you actually hatch 20 eggs and talk to him then, he'll give you another feature on your PC where you're allowed, I mean, I'm not sure if it's just in Battletree alone that you're allowed to do this, but like, you can check the IVs of your current Pokemon, and it's actually very useful, very interesting. I haven't really realized how to do that yet, but other than that, I looked at that and I was like, oh man, I gotta get that thing on that feature unlocked. That sounds pretty useful. Because back in the day, I remember people used to have to go on the internet and check all the Pokemon's IVs, or they would hack with Action Replay to be able to see like what the Pokemon's IVs were. So hopefully this kind of explains, you know, the GTS a little bit better and like what it enables people to do, and hopefully like when Pokebank comes out, what we'll be allowed to do with that as soon as, you know, what effort values and EVs are, not like the Pokemon EV, but like EVs, like again EVS effort values. But you know, it's just gonna be awesome when we finally get the chance to really have like all like the fully functional Pokemon games, like, you know, when all of it comes out and people can just start using like certain Pokemon against each other, how that's gonna play out.